Hey guys, Joe Fan82 here, and today I'm looking at the Conrad Duke Hauser figure that was released in 2016 with Tombstone in the Mission Accepted 2-pack. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the figure. He has, there we go. He has his face sculpt, his head sculpt is the same head sculpt that was with the Duke that was released in the Pursuit of Cobra line in 2011. You can see that the head sculpt is the same. There is a slight difference in the paint color. This Duke, his hair is much more yellow, more blonde, and the skin tone is slightly different. This one being lighter. They both have that same scar below the right eye, but it's pretty much the same sculpt. This one, some of this guy's jaw looks a little bit wider than this one, but pretty much the same exact thing. But I like the head sculpt. It's very nice detail. You can see on the hair there. Very nice. Coming down, we've got a green vest, green tactical vest that comes around. I'm not sure what this hook is for. If you know what this is for, let me know in the comments. Nice detail on the vest. We've seen this vest before. Figures like Steel Brigade. This is the Steel Brigade figure, and this suffers from the same problem. I don't like how the vest attaches to itself right here where it's supposed to close. You can see it barely closes. Same thing with here on the Steel Brigade. I don't like how that's done. There are vests that do it a lot better. For example, on the 2016 Cobra Viper, look at his vest. I mean, it's, it attaches here in the back. Why couldn't they have done the same thing? It would look a lot better. So, anyway, the sculpt and color is very nice on that. He's, as you can see, he's all green and yellow. He's got, it's not bright yellow. His hair is bright yellow. This is a muted, sort of a mustard color on his shirt. He's got the G.I. Joe star logo on his right arm. He's got some, his gloves are a sort of a grayish color. They're different than the rest. And he's got some knee pad. The knee pads are the same color as his gloves, sort of a grayish brown color. Nicely sculpted pants there. You can see all the folds in the material. That's very nice. Coming down, he's got black boots. I feel like this part of the boot should have been painted the same color as the pants. I could be mistaken though, but I feel like that's how it should have been. But he does have the rocker ankles, and these are pretty sturdy. Some of the figures there are way too loose and they just kind of flop around. These are pretty steady. So he looks pretty good. Let's look at his articulation. His head will do a full 360 in case you ever need him to do that for some reason. His arms will go up about so far, and they do a full 360. He does bend at the elbow, almost full 90 degrees. His joints are a bit tight on my figure, so if you can hear that, kind of tight. It's one thing on modern figures, you never know what you're going to get as far as, I mean, most of the time the joints are on the tight side, and they're rarely ever too loose, but sometimes they're just a little too tight. He's got a wrist joint. Focus here. His wrists do a full 360, and he also has a little wrist joint there. He can bend at the wrist. This one has the same, his left wrist has that same joint. Sometimes they have the joint going the other way so that his hand can go back and forth like that, but it's the same on both hands for this guy. His legs can come apart about so far. He has double jointed knees, and as I said before, he has the rocker ankles, and also a little bit of sculpting on the bottom of the shoe. Okay, let's look at his accessories. He's got a backpack, nicely sculpted backpack. It's all black except for this one piece of green here. The backpack has a notch right here at the top, and then it's hollow all the way down to the bottom, and I'm not sure what the point of that is for. It doesn't really, you can't really hold a gun. So if you know what that's for, let me know in the comments, because I don't know. He comes with this rifle. It's pretty standard, solid black rifle. A pistol, very small, solid black pistol. And this rifle, this is, I think we've seen this before, a very nice sculpt, nice detail, all solid black. It's got the handle on the top there, and this clip is removable. It just slides into a notch right there, like so. And his stand, G.I. Joe logo. Again, I want to point out, this is not the gold logo like we've seen on the 50th anniversary. So to me, this is not a 50th anniversary line. The 50th anniversary was 2 years ago. This is just another line, the 2016 line to me. Conrad Duke Hauser. So there you go. Let's take a look at his file card. We've got some nice artwork here. It says First Sergeant, codename Conrad Duke Hauser. File name Conrad S. Hauser. Primary military specialty Airborne Infantryman. Secondary military specialty Artillery Small Arms Armorer. Birthplace St. Louis, Missouri. Grade E8. And this paragraph says, fluent in several languages, Duke graduated at the top of his class at Airborne School, Fort Benning. Calm and determined, he commands by winning respect. He turned down a battlefield commission because it would distance him from his troops and keep him from the center of the action. When he faces Cobra leader Tombstone, he meets a foe who is his equal in rank and combat skill, and a PsyOps warrior without equal in the art of terrifying enemies into surrender. I'm not sure why they, obviously he came in a two-pack with Tombstone. I'm not sure why they insist on putting in all of these file cards something about the other figure that he's packaged with. They don't need to cross-sell it. We already have it. So I'd rather some more detail, about Duke than about the figure he came with. It's interesting here. He turned down a battlefield commission because it would distance him from his troops. This is a lot like, if you know the show Star Trek The Next Generation, Commander Riker, the first officer, turns down his own command of a ship many times because he doesn't want to be away from the Enterprise. So that reminds me of that when it says it here in his file card. He wants to be with his troops in the thick of it. So there you go. And on the back, it's in another language there, and it comes with a second card with 2 more languages, which is a really nice touch, obviously for the international buyers, but for those here in the States that would also like the second, third, or fourth language on their cards. I wanted to show you guys what he looks like without the vest on. He looks a little scrawny in the center there because the sculpt on his arms is rather bulky, so he looks a little out of proportion there. So he looks a lot better with the vest on. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes they look fine without the vest, but in this case, to me, he looks a little odd there. But since I have him out, let's go ahead and just show you how well he holds his weapons. Very nice. This is pretty good. Holds that one very nicely. Sometimes the weapons only work well in one hand, which is better than no hands. Pretty good in both hands with this gun. This slightly larger rifle, we'll check that out. Pretty good. There we go. And again, pretty good. And it does have this handle on the top that you can slide on. So far, this guy is a winner with his accessories, being able to hold his weapons, and he holds his pistol well. There we go. He does have in his right hand, he does have a trigger finger, which is nice. You can see that. There it is. And in the left hand, he does, both hands have the trigger finger, so in case you were wondering, he does have, and there you go. One point of contention I would have is his feet do not stay perfectly on the figure stand. They kind of pop out a little too easy. Once you get him on there, he's fine, but when you're putting him on, they kind of just slide out a little too easy. Here is Duke right next to Tombstone, the figure he came with in the 2-pack. They are pretty evenly matched as far as their size goes. Tombstone looks like maybe just a hair taller, but they're pretty evenly matched there. So there you have that. Here is the 50th anniversary Duke as a comparison. This one's slightly less angry than this guy. So overall, I think this is a really solid figure. I wasn't. This was probably one of the figures I was least looking forward to from the 2016 line. One, because he's Duke, and two, he just didn't look that impressive from the figures or from the photos. And I'm pleasantly surprised. He's very solidly built. The the lacking points, the points I would take points away for the vest here, and not sticking real well to the figure stand. But other than that, the sculpt, the head sculpt we've seen before is just very nice. The detail is very nice all over. He holds his weapons very well. Overall, just a very solid figure. So I do recommend picking this guy up with the 2-pack with Tombstone. I did review this guy earlier. You can check out his review on my channel. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my future videos. You can find me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, via the links in the description for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.